This is Cheyenne Valentine back today again with a new episode. I have something I want to say, something that's been on my mind, and it kind of based upon some things that has happened last couple days, like on YouTube and different things like that. This has been on my mind, and this was a video I wanted to do, but I just didn't get around to it. So this is what I want to say. You know how I always tell women to wait until they have kids in order to get married, and I'm telling men this too, to wait till you get married before you impregnate a woman. But I want to focus on the women right now, because I always hear men say, why are these women having kids out of wedlock? Why did they not wait for a husband to have a child? Why are they having kids out of wedlock? Once again, why did they not wait till they had a husband? So that's why I kind of focus on the women with that because I'm tired of hearing people say that. But I agree with them, but I also feel that the man should wait till he gets married to have a child. So he should refrain from impregnating a woman until he finds a woman that he truly loves, marries her, enjoy being married for a little while, and then they, decide to have a child. The woman and the man should do this, okay? But right now, I'm focusing on the women because I hear a lot about, I hear men always saying, why can't the women just wait till they get married to have a child? Why are they so quick to have kids out of wedlock? And I do not like that some women are quick to have kids out of wedlock. I don't agree with that. And it's not a but after that. However, this is what I want to say. And I want the men and women who are listening to this video to understand, just take this for a second and let this marinate, right? And see where I'm going with this. Okay. If I'm going to tell women to wait until they get married to have kids and to not have kids out of wedlock, they have to have men who want to marry them. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, these women are undesirable. It's their fault that men don't want to marry them. Now, look, yeah, some of these women are undesirable. And the reason why they can't get a husband is because the guy doesn't want them. But we got to talk about also the percentage of men who are, like you said, MGTOW, who don't want to get married. The percentage of men who, in this society, who don't want to be married. A lot of men, I ain't going to say a lot. Let me not say a lot. I know there is a decent amount. I don't know the percentages, but there's a decent amount of men who do not want to be married, who do not want to get married. So we have a problem here, because if I'm going to tell women, okay, just wait until you get married to have kids, and no men, let's say she's doing everything quote unquote right. She's studied, man. She's learned what they want from a woman. She knows she has to be feminine, attractive. She fixes herself up. She stays in shape. She's not, she doesn't get pregnant. Because, women know that men, a lot of times do not want to be a stepfather. They do not want to take on, helping to raise, as they say, another man's child. Most women know that. So let's say she said, okay, well, I don't want to get pregnant because I want to, save myself as far as, birthing children with my husband, whoever that may be. So let's say, like I said, she stays very feminine, the way men like women to be. She's well spoken. She's, like I said, very ladylike. She dressed nice. She wears perfume. She styles her hair. She goes out. She makes sure her skin looks nice. She, of course, she's working. She has money from working to take care of herself, but she likes a provider. So her thing is, when she dates a guy, she lets them know, well, if this will lead into marriage, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Are you okay with that? So she only dates men who are providers. She's a catering woman. She caters to whoever she dates. She's good in a relationship. Like I said before, being a good person and being good in a relationship is two different things. So a woman can be a good woman, just a good person. She could be a good person. You can trust her around. You can trust her around your kids. She won't steal from you. She won't try to backstab you. She could be a good person, but she could not be good in a relationship. Just like a guy can be a good person, but he could not be good in a relationship. And we mistake it. We mistake the two. And also, I want to tell people, when you say that you are good in a relationship, whether you male or female, you can't go based upon your definition. It has to be the definition of what the opposite gender wants. So I can't say, oh, well, being a good woman is me, cooking and cleaning, and so that should make me cooking and cleaning makes me good in a relationship. Cooking for my guy and cleaning and all that makes me good in a relationship. But then if a guy say, yeah, that's good, but let's say I was overweight, or let's just say I had a really bad attitude, he might say, well, yeah, you might cook and clean, but you're overweight and you got a really nasty attitude. So you're not good in a relationship. But then let's just say I keep arguing with him saying, no, me being overweight and me having a nasty attitude has nothing to do with it. I'm good in a relationship because I cook and clean. So you can't bully the opposite gender into accepting things about you. If you want the opposite gender to want you, you have to be somebody that they want. So it's no point of people getting bitter and being upset that currently they don't have the characteristics to bring in the opposite gender. Just learn about what the opposite gender likes, and then you just modify some things. You don't have to change, you don't have to be a different person, but you're gonna have to modify some things, just improve on some things, right? So basically, if I'm telling women to wait until they get married to have a child, then I have to have a large population of men that are lined up to want to marry them. So yeah, you do have some women who I guess are not good in a relationship, and you have some women who are delusional about what they bring as far as their femininity. But put those women aside. Can you honestly tell me there's a lot of men that want to get married now? Like I said, you have the MGTOW. You have a lot of men that say they don't want to be married, but you still have these same men who are out here impregnating women. So let's talk about this too. Women have a biological clock. I think after the age of 40, the baby will be high risk. So with men, they can procreate up until I don't know what age, until y'all die, as long as y'all are producing sperm, right? So I don't think some men are in as big of a rush to get married and have kids, but this is what I feel. I feel the culture in society has changed, and it changed, in my opinion, for the worse in certain ways. In the best in certain ways, and for the worst. So when I say for the best in certain ways, the fact that, okay, blacks have more rights now. Okay, people who want to marry the same gender, they can do that now. Back in the day, you couldn't even marry someone of a different race. Now you can. A lot of things have changed that I feel they have changed for the better, but then a lot of things I think have changed for the worse, because I think the gender roles are getting confused now. And we all are confused. We're like, okay, well, what is normally what the woman does? What's normally what the man does? So now it's kind of blurred. And we all are now the men are looking at the women like they're over masculine, and now the women are looking at the men like they're hyper feminine. So this is becoming a problem. So now people don't know what their role is, and then when you tell them but then when the opposite gender tells them what they expect of them, they like, damn, I'm not used to behaving like that, or damn, I didn't know that was what I was supposed to do. I didn't know the opposite gender like that. I can't just come as is. I just can't be a degenerate and just get what I want. No, it don't work like that. You don't deserve to get what you want if you're a degenerate and you're not giving the opposite gender what they want from you, what they require from you, with reason, because somebody can be unreasonable in what they want now. For example, if a woman says she wants a provider, expecting every man she meets to be a millionaire, that's being unreasonable. I mean, most people on the planet I don't think are millionaires. So not saying you want him to be financially stable, a provider, that's different, but wanting every dude to be a millionaire when most people aren't millionaires, that's kind of a high expectation. Now you can go for millionaires, you can go for that population, it's nothing wrong with that, but don't get mad when you meet a man that's not a millionaire, because you got to go where they're at. That's all I'm saying. You got to go where they're at, and then you can just target the millionaires if that's what you want. Okay, so this is what I want to say. This is to men and women, but I guess it's kind of towards men. For you men who, I don't know, men or women can both think about this, but I'm saying this is more targeted towards men, because when you men say to women, okay, can you refrain from having kids out of wedlock? Why did you have kids out of wedlock? Okay, then if I tell every single woman to wait till she gets married to have a kid, who is she waiting for if no one wants to get married? And like I said, we're taking the women out of the equation that are not desirable, the women who the men don't want to date. We're not talking about them. I'm talking about women who I said like are feminine. They checked off every box, and you still and they date men. Men like them, but these men don't want to commit. And I know you're gonna say, well, it's something about her that's not making them want to commit. No. Sometimes it's not anything about her. Women know what I'm talking about. It's a lot of men that don't want relationships. A lot of men who do not want to get married. They want to have sex. They might impregnate you, but they don't want to marry you. They don't want to be in a long-term relationship. Those are the men. And these men are multiplying. They are increasing. So I had this conversation with my dad. I remember one day I was talking to him. I said, well, they tell women to not have kids out of wedlock, but the men now don't really want to get married. So how can you tell them to wait till they get married? So you tell every single woman to wait till she gets married to have a kid. A lot of women are not going to be having kids. So men, so the only solution is for the women to tell other women, you need to wait until you get married to have kids. So refrain from having a baby out of wedlock. And then the men have to tell the men, you all need to want to get married. You need to get married and build a family. This is the only way this is going to change, because you can't attack one side of the equation when you want them to get along. Like you can't. This is why this is not this so-called the problems that we're having. This is part of the reason, because only one gender wants the other gender to change, but they don't want to change. You have to both change at the same time. So to change things around and to make our community more family oriented and to stop all these kids out of wedlock, what has to happen is the women have to make a conscious decision and say, I'm not having kids out of wedlock. The men have to make a conscious decision, I'm not having kids out of wedlock. In addition, the men have to say, I want to get married. The women can't make the men marry them. Okay? They can't make them. It's men who have ran into great women who just don't want to be married. And these men are increasing. We have an issue here. Okay, now you might say, well, some women, well, then if we have a culture where you're telling women to wait till they get married to have kids, don't have kids out of wedlock, okay, but then you're telling the men, don't get married, run through different women, don't get into relationships, then the women are going to do one or two things are going to happen. Either women are going to wait until they get married, and a lot of them are not going to be able to get married because the men don't want to get married. So a lot of them are not going to have kids, and then the birth rate is going to go down. Or the women, which is what I think the women are doing now, are just going to still have kids out of wedlock. Because once again, let's go through the women's biology. Women naturally want to have kids. Nature made it to where and not every woman wants to have kids, but I think most women do like babies. I don't have kids yet, and I just, y'all, babies, they smell good. They had a little feet, and they just, oh my God, y'all, they're so adorable. Like, I love kids, right? So, especially like the newborn babies. There's something about them. I remember holding a newborn baby, and she was just staring at me, and I was just staring at her, and y'all, I don't get emotional right now. She ended up dying, I think, a week later, and I felt this strong connection with her. My boyfriend had brought her to me to hold her, and I was holding her, and we was just looking at each other. I'm an empath, and I'm very spiritual, and I could feel people's energy, and I was holding her, and when he tried to take her from me, I didn't want him to take her, and it's because I felt something. I don't know what it was I was feeling, but I didn't, and me and her just staring at each other. I think she was, I don't know how many weeks old, but she was a newborn, and we were just looking at each other, and I couldn't, she had my eye, I couldn't break eye contact with her, and I felt this strong connection to her. When he tried to take her from me, I was like, I didn't want him to, and he took her back to her mom, and I found out maybe 3 weeks later she died. She was at her grandmother's house, and they found her dead in a carriage, and I got emotional, and I told my boyfriend, I said, you know what, I felt a connection with her. I think I knew she was gonna pass. I know this sounds weird. I didn't want to let her go. And I've seen newborn babies, I've played with them, but with this baby, I felt a different connection to where it's almost like I knew something was about to happen, and I didn't want to let her go. Okay, so I don't want to get emotional talking about it, but women, nature made us to where a lot of us, or a significant amount of us, naturally want to produce children. Why? Because if nature gave men most of them this high sex drive to want to impregnate a woman, right? But if they impregnate us, if we don't have desire to want to carry the baby to term, we will be having, yes, women are having abortions, but 90% of women will be throwing themselves down the steps, leaving babies on doorsteps. I mean, it's some people doing this now, but trust me, the rate will increase. Basically, if nature made us not that much into kids the way men are not that much into kids, a lot of kids would not even be being born. Women would be, women probably be leaving these babies on people's doorsteps. It would, and women are doing that, some of them, but it would increase. Women would, like I said, trying to abort. Like, you think abortions are high now, it would be way higher if nature made us feel the way men kind of feel about kids. If nature made us feel that way about kids the way men do, it would be a disaster. Nature had to make us want to carry the child. Nature gave men a desire to want to impregnate a woman, and then nature gave us the desire to want to carry the child and nurture it. Because think about if nature didn't give us a desire to want to nurture the child if we actually carried it to term. It'll just be laying there crying. You know, it just, the kids will be being abandoned left and right, and they already getting abandoned. So just imagine if we didn't even have that maternal instinct. Okay, so let me keep going. I don't want to make this video too long. So, to the men, what is your suggestion? Okay, my thing about it is, if you want women, if you keep telling women, why can you not, you know, oh, let me go back. So, like I said, two things are going to happen. If men are not encouraged to get married by other men, like I tell women all the time, men don't listen to women. They listen to, okay, let me take that back. They listen to us in a, men think that women are beneath them. Like, some men are very misogynist, and they feel like women are to be seen, not heard. I've heard men say this. They don't value the women the way I feel they should. So a lot of times they don't really listen to us. They'll listen, but they're listening through filter ears, and they're listening just to either, one, get information on us, to try to run game on us, or two, some men actually do want to know, or three, they're using it to be able to get laid, or like, I don't know the percentage of men that really want to see women prosper and men the community. Now, I have I do want to see men prosper, and you want to know why? It's because maybe it's selfish, but it's not even selfish. I want to see other women find great guys, and I want to see the community build back up. I really do, believe it or not. As much as I be running my mouth, I really do. I want to see the community built up, black men and black women together, building great families, looking beautiful. Like, you know, I want to see that out. And so, like I said, I grew up with my father around, so and how his thought process is, I kind of have that. So I don't like the way things are. So I do want to see black men be successful. I do want to see black men prosper. I never say I want to see black men fail. What the hell, no. And I don't want to see black women fail. I want them to come together. I'm tired of colorism. I'm tired, like, it's just, the community is screwed up. Okay, so like I said, my thing about it is, because men, I feel, don't really, you know, value women's opinion that much, it's going to take another man to get him to desire certain things. Men respect other men. So it's going to take other black men telling other black men, man, you should get married. I remember I was watching Breakfast Club, and it was DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God, and I think Killer Mike. And Killer Mike was telling, no, not Killer Mike. It was another guy on there. I forgot his name. He was a comedian. He was married. He was telling Charlamagne, he said, you should get married. He was like, it's great, you know, it's a beautiful thing. He's like, Charlamagne, do it. And I seen Charlamagne just like thinking. And like literally maybe a year later, he actually married his child's mother. Okay, he went on and married her. Okay, and I'm not saying just because that guy said it, but trust me, when you have a lot of people saying something to you that's positive, it how you thinking, like, should I do it? Especially when you respect that person. See, men respect other men. How I know, that's why they end up trying to cuss me out when I say things, when I'm pointing out degenerate men, and I point out the degenerate women, but they just want me to just talk about the women and not about some of the degenerate men. If you're not a degenerate man, you should not be mad about anything I'm saying, because I'm not talking about you. You should hate the degenerate men just like I do. Like, what is wrong with you? How are you defending somebody that's trash? I don't defend trashy women. I never once defended them, and I never will. Okay, so he was in the interview saying, yeah, Charlamagne, you should get married. And Charlamagne, it seemed like he thought about it. And like literally, like I said, a year later, I'm not saying that guy was the only influence on the reason why Charlamagne got married. But, oh yeah, I'm about to drop stuff. But hold on one second. Fuck up this camera. So what I'm saying is that, let me get to the point. Men respect men. Okay. Men respect men, and it's going to take other men to tell men, okay, getting married is a good thing. You want to have a legacy. You want to have children. Find you a nice woman. Get married. And, okay, look, if y'all not going to do this, I'm telling you right now, because a lot of men complain about, oh, I meet these women, these single mothers, and they have kids by other men. It's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening. You want to know why? Because the men aren't trying to marry. What y'all expect some women to do? Every woman is not like me. They're not going to wait till they get married and have kids, because it's a time frame. So like even me, I'm 34. I got about a good maybe 3 years, maybe. I mean, I can, you know, I guess if I was to freeze my eggs and all that, I could go after 40. But if I don't want to be a high risk pregnancy in the next 3 years, I got to make some decisions if I want a kid or not. And if I don't want none, maybe I just adopt, and then I'll be done with it. If I decide to adopt, I don't have to worry about my eggs or whatever. But if I want biological kids, oh, it's a limit, baby. Else I'm gonna have to get a surrogate. Women are on a time frame with their body, dude. Like, y'all not understanding this. So it's only two options that are gonna happen. If you all don't tell men, look, y'all need to get married. Every man knows not gonna want to get married. Every man's not gonna get married. But we need about a good 80% of them that want to get married. I mean, I'm not playing. We need a good 80% to build a community back up, to make it, to stop all these out of wedlock kids. We need a good 80% of men that want to get married. Real talk. So until y'all are willing to tell men and to change the culture between men that being married is a good thing, and yeah, we can get into the laws against men and marriage. I mean, we can get into all that, but we gotta take baby steps, right? We gotta first deal with, okay, you all complaining about the women having kids out of wedlock. Okay, so let's deal with that. So you do your part. I'm gonna do my part. You do your part. What is your part? Your part is to tell men, don't impregnate a woman you're not married to. The first thing you do. Then you tell them you need to get married. Here are the benefits to marriage. You have a legacy. Blah blah blah. You tell them you have a woman on your side. You have a companion, someone that's there for you no matter what. You can reproduce yourself by having an offspring with her. You tell them the benefits of marriage. You don't, with one woman, if she's being faithful, you being faithful, you ain't got to worry about STDs. You got to worry about all these kids by different women. You can focus on that household. You got somebody that's gonna be there for you during your old age. You have a legacy. You basically, you tell them the benefits of marriage. Okay, then what I do, I tell the women, do not have kids out of wedlock. Wait until you get married. And you got to have men that want to marry women in their during a time where they can procreate too. So if these men want to get married at like 70 or something, dude, you got to want to get. I understand men can wait longer, but y'all should. I remember what is his name? Morris Chestnut. He said that him and his wife wanted to have kids young, early on because they didn't want to wait till they were older. So I think he got married young and had kids young. So man, there's nothing wrong with getting married young and having kids young. I'm not saying 19 or 20. Even if you wait till you are 30 to get married, I think that's a good age to get married. 30. You can definitely do it younger. There's nothing against doing it younger. I'm just saying, do it, when you are emotionally ready to be with one woman. But if it takes you to 30, it's nothing wrong with that. 30 and build you a family. Or, 28, build you a family. What is wrong with that? So I'm sorry. Until you men start telling other men, okay, is getting married is a good thing, we should get married. It's men that's causing other men to not want to get married, in a sense. So, let me take that back. It ain't just men causing other men, but what I mean is that it's just how I feel. If men ran into women, a large population of women that they felt was marriage material, I still feel like a lot of them would not want to get married because of their mentality. Because other men, they're MGTOW. Other men, do y'all know that a guy contacted me on YouTube and said that I'm going around promoting men getting married, and one of his missions is to stop women like me from promoting marriage. I said, sir, not in one of my videos did I promote marriage. I had a video that basically said that why is marriage being promoted to women and not men? Because it's causing women to have emotional issues because you're going around waiting on this. You're going around waiting on this husband to show up that never does. It's all these men that want to have sex with you. It's all these men all up in your face, but all they want to do is get their penis wet. No one's trying to get married. And like I said, until you men, it's women out here who are very high quality. I didn't say it's oversaturated with great women, but there are some great women out here who will be, good in relationships, and they can tell you some of the men still did not want to get married because the dude flat out told them when they even started talking to him that he didn't want a long-term relationship. And then you might say she shouldn't have dealt with him. You're right, she shouldn't have. But this is the thing, it ain't a but after that. However, it's a lot of men that don't want to settle down and be in a relationship, and who don't want to be married. And so, no, I don't think that it's men's fault that other men don't want to get married, but I think other men play a part in it. The culture of being a playboy, the culture of, okay, your rank goes up based on how many women you sleep with. I know my boyfriend has a friend that bragged and said he slept with 100 women. Men have a culture in this society now of talking about how many women they can put down sexually, but the culture of family has been destroyed. Where's the culture of, I got my dad? Let me tell y'all something. My dad showed me a picture on his phone of, it was me, my brother, my mom, and him at my brother's graduation in elementary school. And my dad, he told me to bring the picture to his room. And I remember one day, I brought it to his room, and he took a picture of it. And I was over his house, and I was looking at albums and stuff. And he's like, come in my room and bring me this picture. He told me which picture he wanted me to bring, because I was in his living room looking at through his album. And I brought the picture to him, and he took a picture of it. And later on, he showed me, went in his phone later on when I came over his house. He act like I did not know he took that picture or whatever, but he showed me the picture, and I'm like, well, I'm the one that gave it to you so you could take a snapshot of it. And he said, you know what? He said, I was so proud of my family. Y'all, I almost brought tears to my eyes. He showed me the picture that I already saw, and he said, I was so proud of this family. I was so proud of this family. What happened to those men? Like, it makes me, like, talking about this, I'm getting emotional, because when he said that, I have never, y'all, heard a man show me a picture. I mean, I may be two, and they were white men, though. But I haven't seen a black guy show me a picture of his woman, wife, kids, and say, I'm so proud of this family. Or even if he was older, saying, I was so proud of this family. That's what needs to happen. And only other men can get other men in order. Women, we can't tell them the benefits of marriage. We can't. Because we could tell them, but as long as other men are telling them not to get married, as long as other men are telling them to go MGTOW, they're going to listen to them, because that's how men are. They have a pack type mentality. They listen to other men. Okay, like, I don't know why, because you're not going to have sex with them. So why are you listening to men? Listen to a woman, so you can know what a woman wants, what she desires, so you can get the woman you want. Why are you listening to them? They can't they can tell you how to run games on women, but I thought you said you wanted a decent woman, a woman who's good in a relationship. No, that's because you don't want to be in a relationship. You want to run through as many women as possible. And as long as you have that mentality, women are going to keep pushing out babies out of wedlock. And don't complain about it. So every time, all you men who complain about mean single moms and all that, it's going to keep happening, because you men collectively are against marriage. So how am I going to tell a woman to wait till she get married to have a kid when it ain't a bunch of men that want to get married? That don't make no damn sense. The only way for that to happen is if I keep telling women, or me and other women tell women, okay, let's wait till we get married to have kids, and then wait for your husband to come. And then you tell men, okay, you men need to wait until you get married to have a child. And in addition, you tell the man you need to want to get married, and tell them the benefits of marriage. And there are benefits to marriage. I know y'all gonna say it's not. It is. Okay. Tell the men the benefits of marriage. Until that happens, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you the out of wedlock rate is going to keep going up. It's going to get worse. The marriage rate is dropping, and it's more kids being born out of wedlock. And this is part of the reason why. Now, they expecting women to wait for a husband. Who is this husband? Now, some women are going to be able to get married, but it's going to be a significant amount that's not. Partly because they're not marriage material themselves, and then the other part is because the men don't want to get married. So y'all stop talking about why these women are having out of wedlock kids until you men tell other men to wait until they get married to have kids, and until you tell other men to get married, to desire marriage, then you're gonna keep seeing kids out of wedlock, and don't complain about it.